up everybody, Ultimate Reviews here and welcome back for another video. So today I will be bringing you guys the review of the Beats by Dr. Dre Studio Wireless Edition in the colour blue. Let's get straight into this. Alright guys, so the Beats by Dr. Dre Studio 2013 edition, that was actually released in August 2013 and it was only till November/December when they went ahead and released the wireless versions. Now at first I was really worried, should I get the wireless versions, mainly due to the fact because I just have this view that wireless stuff have a loss in quality. So I thought the Beats Studio Wireless would possibly sound much worse than the wired version. But then I headed into a few shops, looked around, and it literally took me weeks. I did some really, deep research into which headphones I was going to get. And I made my mind up on the Beats Studio Wireless, and they do sound just as good as the wired versions. So these headphones are wireless, so they will be running off a Bluetooth connection. Now on a full charge you will be able to get up to 12 hours of non-stop music. However, on the left ear cup it's also got a 3.5mm headphone input, which allows you to use the wired connection, and that can actually provide you with 20 hours of non-stop music. Now, there are a lot of people who think there's a sound quality difference between the wireless and wired connection, but there really isn't. So inside the box, which is just over there, you pretty much find Beats normal accessories. The only real difference they've made this time is including the small power adapter, which allows you to charge your headphones. Obviously, they are running off a Bluetooth connection. It's got a USB port right at the bottom over there, which allows you to plug also the data cable, which they also provide in the box, and you could plug into your headphones, which also has the charging port on the right ear cup. Now apart from that, you pretty much find what you get in every other Beats box. You get the Beats by Dr. Dre 3.5mm headphone cable and the other 3.5mm headphone cable, which simply just allows you to make phone calls. Now I'm not sure if they've included this in other Beats models, but in my box I found a Beats by Dr. Dre sticker. It's a transparent sticker with the Beats logo and it looks pretty cool, similar to the Apple products, the Apple stickers, which are in basically almost every Apple product. But yeah, I stuck mine on my door. I found that pretty cool. Now moving on to the build quality, I'm gonna get the headphones for these because a lot of people love to criticize Beats for the build quality. Now I'm not gonna do a stress test on these headphones simply because you will never be in the situation where you would need to bend your Beats like 180 degrees. That will never happen. The worst that could happen to your Beats is it dropping on the floor or dropping in water. So all of those stress tests on YouTube of people like bending their Beats 180 degrees waiting for it to snap, I find those pretty pointless because I don't think you will ever be in this situation unless someone purposely wants to snap your Beats in half. But yeah, or you have a really wide head. Yeah, but I don't really think your Beats will break. The build quality on these headphones is obviously plastic, but it is a very solid design. Now on these headphones, everything just fits perfectly. The logos are exactly where they're meant to be, as you would expect, but they just look really nice. So on the right ear cup, you just find the studio logo, and then on the left ear cup, you find the wireless logo. Now, of course, if you didn't get the wireless version, it just won't say wireless there. But the Beats logo just looks great, really stands out. The headband feels perfect. It's not as soft and cushiony as the old studios. This is more thin. You can feel it's closer to the plastic, but it feels really great and it feels comfortable on the head. Now the ear cushions, which you will be making contact with all the time, they feel really great on the ears. I think they're probably fake leather. I don't think they're going to use real leather, but it might be real leather, I'm not too sure. But they feel really great. It's pretty much similar to the old studios again. It just fits really perfectly on the ears. So because these headphones are wireless, they have included some wireless features. One of them are the volume up feature, which all you have to do is just press up on the left ear cup, and you can increase the volume, and then if you press down, it simply decreases the volume. And then if you hit the middle button, which is the Beats logo, that actually pauses the music, and if you double tap it twice, that skips the song. And I think if you double tap it 3 times, it goes back. I'm not too sure, but there's a whole bunch of features you can use from just that single Beats button, which I find pretty useful. There has been a few situations where I simply hate the song that's on my phone, so I just double tap twice and it skips to the next song. Or if I accidentally double tap 3 times, I can double tap. No, if I double tap twice on a good song, I could double tap 3 times to go to the previous song. It's confusing, but you can get used to it. Okay, so moving on to the sound quality. I have to start off by saying I'm no sound guru, so I don't really know what types of different sounds you get from headphones. But I do know about the bass. The bass sounds really good. A lot of the songs I listen to, which is mainly rap / hip hop. I do listen to a bit of pop sometimes, but it's mainly rap / hip hop. And as you guys would obviously expect, it's just kind of full of bass. And these sound really great with the bass. It's just really heavy. If you listen to more of vocal kind of, maybe things like opera. I have actually tested different genres of music on these headphones. Things like pop and opera sound really good. The vocals just sound so clear. And I think that's when the treble comes into it. The treble just makes the vocal sound really clear, especially on those high-pitched notes. These headphones, you don't experience any sort of crackling or any lows. It just sounds really great. Now, in terms of loudness, as I said, you can always increase the volume on the left ear cup to as loud as you want. And there really are no distortions. Even when you're listening to music on the loudest setting, it still just sounds perfectly fine. Now, moving on to leakage. How much music does these headphones leak? They leak a lot of music. Beats have always had this problem ever since the first studios. And they've tried to fix it. And I think they've only achieved that maybe once or twice on a few other headphone models, but the Beat Studio have always had the problem of leakage of music. These headphones leak big time. I'm talking big time. There's been a few occasions where I'd be sitting down obviously with my family and they might be watching a film or something and I just have the Beats on and I might be listening to music on halfway or just above halfway and the music is leaking out, and this is with a bit of background noise, and they can still hear most of the words of the song, or at least still hear the song in the living room. And that was one of their kind of frustrations with these headphones. And obviously, if you're listening to the music, you don't experience it because you are listening to it. But that may be a little disadvantage for other people, especially when you're listening to it in a very quiet location. I'm planning on using these headphones to travel to Berlin, and I'm always listening to my music at least halfway or just above halfway, and you know, it's going to be a bit awkward with people who I don't know kind of just listening to my music. So that is a disadvantage with these headphones. So moving a bit more in depth into the battery life, you get 12 hours of non-stop music through a Bluetooth connection and 20 hours of non-stop music through a wired connection. Either way, you're pretty much listening to music for a very long time, but the Bluetooth connection is obviously less. But if you listen to music around an hour a day, 12 hours, that's going to last you almost 2 weeks. I find myself listening to my Beats headphones around an hour a day, and sometimes even less than that. Sometimes I just want to listen to maybe 2 or 3 songs, and I throw them on for like 10 minutes and then take them back off again. So it just depends on how long you're going to listen to your music for. But 12 hours on a Bluetooth connection is definitely worth it. And yeah, it's still going to last you a very long time. That's of course on a full charge. And then maybe if you're planning on going on a long road trip where you're not going to have the opportunity to charge your Beats, then I would suggest going with the wired connection. You're going to get 20 hours out of that, which is very long, almost a full day of non-stop music. So I wanted to talk more about the outdoor use and using it in places such as the gym. A lot of people do obviously take their Beats to gym. I've seen at least 5 people in my gym using Beats headphones. So these headphones are really good in the gym. Now that's just a very vague way of saying it. But when you are taking part in activities which involves you kind of moving your head back and forth, and you know, like mainly moving the head or moving side to side, these headphones stay really firm on the head. Now it's not squeezing your head like squeezing your ears, but these headphones do manage to stay really firm on the head, so it's not kind of dangling about. I've even tested it doing press ups or doing activities where I'm upside down, these headphones still manage to stay pretty much clamped on your head without applying like the ultimate pressure on your head. So it feels really nice. Now in terms of sweat, you know, you're gonna sweat everywhere. Of course, these headphones has the leather band at the top and the leather cushions on each ear. So yeah, that just, you know, it's leather obviously, so you could get a wipe and simply just wipe it without, you know, kind of damaging anything. And that's just kind of a plus. That's a bonus really. But just a quick heads up, you may start to feel a bit of discomfort when listening to these headphones past the 60-minute mark. Your ears just start to feel really hot, especially this part of the ear. This is turning into a biology lesson, but yeah, it starts to feel really hot at this part and just a bit at the bottom. And that's just obviously due to the leather. Leather is you could call it an insulating material with heat, so it's just really kind of keeping all that heat on your ear, and the music and the bass, it's all kind of just too much on the ears after an hour. So you may start to feel a bit uncomfortable. You might want to take it off and let your ears breathe and then put them back on. Sorry, Wally. Okay, so you also find, so inside the box, you also find this hard shell carry case. Now this just does it. Now inside the box, you'll also find this hard shell carry case. Now this does a really good job. Unlike the old Beats Studio where it had a tiny little pouch inside, these headphones carry case doesn't. So you kind of just put your Beats inside, and I will fold them up like this. Goes inside, and yeah, you zip it up. It's that simple. There's no carry pouch inside the case, and you get this nice little cleaning cloth with the Beats logo in the corner. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It does a really good job. I actually dropped my Beats a few days ago off my table, which is probably just over a meter off the ground, and the case did a perfect job in keeping the Beat nice and secure, so I can't really complain about the Beats. And moving on to my last and final point, it is the price and the color I chose. Let's get the headphones out again. So I chose them in blue, obviously. Blue, I could say, is my favorite color. I wanted a color that really stands out, so it was between blue and red just kind of seemed a bit too so I went with blue, and a lot of people like it. I like the colour as well. Now in terms of the price, in the UK it cost £329, and don't quote me on this, but I think in the US it costs $350. I may be wrong, prices may go down, but in the UK it costs £329. That is from Amazon.co.uk, and I think it costs the same on the Beats by Dr. Dre.co.uk website. Now these headphones are definitely expensive, and people are they find it very easy to quickly criticize Beats. Oh, they're not that good, blah blah blah. You could find headphones, Sennheisers or Bose. I know that you can find headphones just as good as Beats at a cheaper price, but Beats just are popular and they look nice, and that's why they're very expensive. And you know, this can be argued with a lot of other products in the market. For example, iPhones and, you know, Mac computers. Mac computers are possibly no different from very high-end Windows computers, and yet it is still like double the price of a top spec Windows computer. But I'm not going to go in depth into that, but you know, that is how Beats are in the market. The name also adds to the price. It is Beats and everyone knows Beats, so the price definitely goes up. But these headphones do deliver some really great sound quality. But again, £329 is a lot of money to spend on just headphones. So if you are planning on buying headphones, what I would strongly advise you to do is to head down to different shops in person and listen to these headphones. Do not just trust reviews, because obviously I'm giving a very honest review of these headphones, and I hope that you guys take my word on them. But I would still advise you to head down to the shop and, you know, test out the headphones for yourself. So we've reached the end of the video. I'm going to try to sum this up really quickly. The Beats headphones, wireless edition, really good. Sound great. Disadvantage, very expensive, but they sound really great. And I advise you to look around, in different shops until you find the headphones that suit you. And even if you haven't used these yet, but you still want to buy it, I would still advise you to head down to the shop and test them out for yourself. These might be a bit too expensive for you, and you might find something you like at a cheaper price, or even something that's more expensive but not these type. So yeah, I hope you guys have all enjoyed the video. This has been a really in-depth video, probably why it's so long. Yeah, but yeah, if you have enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button, really helps out a lot. And also hit the subscribe button so you can be kept up to date with a whole bunch of other videos that are soon to come up. Also, I'm heading to Berlin next week, Wednesday, for the E for Berlin, where I'll be reviewing and getting my hands on a bunch of new phones. So I advise you to hit the subscribe button, and I will see all of you in the next video. Have a great day. Peace. I mean, these headphones do leak a lot. Here's a quick test of me listening to them, and you guys may be able to hear the music through the camera. So let's give it a shot.